I am with a great gentleman, a gentleman that I respect a lot and have always looked up to him. He has over 42 years of experience in the hydraulic industry, has set many a benchmark in the industry, especially from the MSME point of view. And I would like all of you to meet somebody who I think I look up to like I would a guru. I have Mr. P.C. Lakhani with me, sir. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Vinit, for this meeting, as well as the organizers, the event what you are organizing as a document for the future generation.
Absolutely.
Definitely, I would like to share my experience with the team so that they can go through that in the future.
तो मैं शुरू से स्टार्ट करता हूँ. आप कहाँ पर आपका पैदाइश हुआ और बचपन के एक्सपीरियंसेस क्या रहे आपके?
So basically, I have born and brought up in Gujarat only.
Okay.
Eventually, I passed out my graduation as a mechanical engineer in 1977.
Okay.
And from the college only, I was selected as a trainee engineer in a company called SLM Maneklal.
Okay. SM Maneklal used to be a big name at
Yeah,
one point.
It was a big name during that time.
Right.
And there my responsibility during the training as well as after confirmation was to really control or work in the quality control department for the plastic injection molding machines.
Okay.
Plastic injection molding machine is definitely all hydraulic functionality.
Absolutely.
The typical,
this we are saying, what year are we talking about?
1977.
So you graduated in 1977?
77, and immediately I went to SLM.
Which college did you?
I passed out from college named Birla Vishwakarma Mahavidyalaya.
In Anand.
In Anand.
I've been there. I went there to give my entrance exam way back when I was.
To my college, lot of legendaries are connected.
Okay.
One of the legendary is chairman of L&T Group.
Right. Okay.
Anil Nayak.
Okay.
Anil Nayak is graduate of 1962 from the same college. If you really look at the recent scenario, then the managing director of JCB, Mr. Deepak Shetty, is also from our college.
From BVM.
From BVM.
Okay.
So BVM has really produced lot of good engineers who has at least learned the fundamentals very clearly,
right,
and implemented in the career.
आपकी बातों से लग रहा है कि आप अभी भी connected हैं कॉलेज के साथ?
Yes, very well. In fact, our college has the largest society of the alumni.
Oh.
We are 16,000 alumni members.
Fantastic.
Out of 22,000 graduates which are passed from 1948 till today.
Okay.
And college has completed 75 years. And naturally, because it was a government-funded college, they never had any fund to improvise the infrastructure.
Okay.
So as an alumni,
right,
including Mr. Anil Nayak and everybody, we felt it is our responsibility to brought up the college once again back to the today's industry standard.
All right, right.
And all put together, probably the alumni has raised the fund of more than 50 crore rupees.
Fantastic. Okay.
So that infrastructure of the college can be improved. So our college today is having all the equipments, infrastructure, including 3D printing, all the latest softwares, lot of other laboratories.
Hydraulics में भी कुछ किया वहाँ पर?
Yes, hydraulics में भी काफी किया है.
Okay.
But basically there are 2-3 colleges. So eventually with the same trust, they also have one more college.
Okay.
So there we introduced even the bachelor degree in mechatronic engineering, which was not the subject previously.
Okay. This is also in Anand?
That is also in the same campus area, rather, Vallabh Vidyanagar.
Ji.
So there we have also started the branch of mechatronics.
Okay.
So to get the approval from the government for the mechatronics branch,
Right.
And for the equipment selection, we all were involved. We established the laboratory, curriculum, everything there. So if you look at the hydraulic industry or electrical industry or mechanical industry,
Ji.
the person who is passing out from the mechatronic branch will have at least a fundamental knowledge
Exposure
about the
to all
electronics, increment, electronics, mechanical, electrical, all put together.
Right.
And there, one of the specialized subject is hydraulics.
All right. So moving on to from after you graduated, you joined Maneklal.
Yeah.
And so आगे बताइए अपनी
So
story उसके बारे में.
at Maneklal, after completion of my training period for the 1 year,
Right.
I was assigned the duties for the quality control in injection molding machine department.
Okay.
And injection molding machine was full of the hydraulics.
Right.
So there I learned my basic hydraulics.
Okay. So that's where your journey actually started.
Yes.
In hydraulics. Okay.
And till that time, see, hydraulics as a subject was taught into the colleges,
Right.
but the fluid referred as always water,
Right.
not the oil.
Hmm.
So basic fundamentals were little bit known, but more was known only when I was taking my on-job training and on-job experience.
Right.
And the economy in India in that time, that is from 1948 onwards until 1991, was a closed economy.
Hmm.
So very little resources were available, and we have to work with that resources to produce the machines.
Absolutely.
On hydraulic side, definitely there were only two companies. One was Vickers and second was Rexroth, which was also eventually a group company of the same group,
Same
Rexroth
group.
Maneklal.
Right.
So because it is a group company, definitely we have to use the Rexroth hydraulics.
Right.
You can also eventually, if I am not wrong, started somewhere around 1975 only.
Yeah, around that time,
Yeah.
early 80s or
Yeah.
late
So,
70s.
but import was very much restricted. Technology was not that easy.
Right.
No internet was available, so no knowledge about the world, what is happening in the world and what we are doing in India.
That's right.
So there were a lot of challenges at the time.
Ji.
But during my tenure at SLM Maneklal, we were facing certain problems also with the hydraulics.
Okay.
And as a quality control engineer, I was able to study the design, I was able to study the mechanism, and few of the problems which were really very, very critical in hydraulics,
Right.
which has been only because of the selection issue or the understanding issue of the product.
Availability issue bhi hoga us time
Availability
pe.
issue. So they were existing, so we resolved that jointly. So that was a first step from where I generated interest in hydraulics.
Right. So how many years did you spend in?
It was only 4 years.
Okay.
But then I got the appointment in Rexroth itself.
Okay.
For 2 years, I was working with Rexroth. From SLM also, I was responsible for Rexroth because hydraulics.
Right.
And it was quality control area for me.
Right.
So I was always going for the testing, design validation, everything.
So where was Rexroth's plant at that time? That point of time?
Both the plants were adjacent, rather.
Okay. In Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Okay.
Ahmedabad only.
Ahmedabad only. Okay.
This is how I came to Rexroth.
Okay.
And because of the knowledge and type of the decision-making process and grasping, in 1981, when I joined Rexroth, my salary at SLM was 900 rupees.
Right. Okay.
After 3 years or 4 years of my service, they gave me the rise of 50% to join the Rexroth.
Rexroth. Okay. It's an awesome.
We cannot lose this knowledge what you have gained,
right.
and you are very helpful person to Rexroth.
Okay.
So I stayed there for 2 years, But again, see, basically, these are the companies, and a lot of turbulence will be there when somebody is appointed with 50% rise.
Right. Okay.
So then I left after that in 1983 and started my own. That okay, let me not be working for somebody.
Okay.
I will start something on my own.
Right.
So the journey after the career as a workman or a engineer when started, it was just with 500 rupees in my pocket. That was the starting point.
You starting your own company. What is the name of the company that you
The
started?
first company what I started was with 4 of my colleagues.
Okay.
All were working at Rexroth only.
Okay.
And the name of the company was Gujarat Hydraulics.
All right. Okay.
Again, we started manufacturing power packs and everything.
Uh-huh.
And we were lucky that we could get response from the customers
Right.
to whom we contacted.
Hmm.
Is a supportive response that yes, you are doing good thing.
And I suppose there was nobody at that time.
Yeah,
that point of time.
we were the first in the small scale industry to start the business.
Right.
So immediate response was that.
Rexroth and Vickers were making power packs at that time?
Yes, they were making the power packs.
Okay.
But in small scale, there were hardly anybody.
Okay.
Mumbai, it was there, but not anywhere in Gujarat or anywhere.
Okay.
So, we got a good response from few of the customers. We could get immediately orders also.
Right.
And at least the flow started for the business rather.
Right.
But again, see, basically because it was a closed economy, hydraulics market was a seller's market. This situation in India for all the industries have prevailed until 1991. Whosoever has the license, whosoever is producing, he can decide the price.
He can decide the price. When I started, it was like that.
Yeah. So
but there was no negotiation.
No negotiation.
In fact, people were after you that you take money and give it to me first.
Yeah.
And we also had limited capability.
Yeah. So in that market scenario, see, basically, if one of our colleague is telling us to take the opportunity cost, which was not acceptable to me, that we should not really take the opportunity cost.
Right.
So this was a point of difference of opinion rather.
Okay.
And I left that company in 1985.
So Gujarat Hydraulics was there for how long?
It started in 1983 only.
Okay. So 2 years.
2 years only.
Okay. Right.
But then Gujarat Hydraulics also continued its journey.
Okay.
With 2 of the partners.
All right.
I was out because my ethics was not allowing me to charge very high to customer rather.
Okay.
So I left the company.
Okay.
And then again I started from scratch. But again customers were supporting me.
Okay.
So at least for 4 years I worked as a sort of a subcontractor for my customer.
Okay.
Building the power pack in their premises.
Okay.
So I will advise them from where to purchase. They will purchase. They will give the material to me. They will give me charges for the procurement and everything.
Right.
And then I will build the power pack for them in their own premises rather, because I had no money.
Right.
This situation continued up to 1988.
All right.
Within this time, I was able to at least buy or rent a office. So I was sitting in a rented office, managing my show.
Right.
Slowly got some money from the customer, started stocking some of the items.
Okay.
Supplying to the same customer at the same price. All these things were going on. But 1988, I really started building the power pack in my own premises. So 1988, I got.
So you started a company?
Company was there, but there was no manufacturing facility.
Right. Okay.
It was all happening at customer
side. So what was that company called?
System Engineer only, which is still running today.
All right. Right.
So 1985, I started a new company with the name because I have to at least give a invoice to customer for my consulting charges also or for my labor charge also.
Right.
So company was started. But then all this manufacturing activity which I was doing at customer end, for that 5 customer, we shifted to my own premises.
Right.
Discussing very transparently about the costing part and labor part and all put together, what will be the cost to them.
Right.
And this is how the journey started. So, if you recall, recently also Ahmedabad had a plane crash.
Right.
In 1988 also Ahmedabad had one plane crash.
Okay.
So the day plane crash happened in Ahmedabad in 1988, next day my factory was opened.
Okay.
So I was preparing for that, and again that incident took place only 7 kilometers away from my factory.
All right.
This time also it is not very far, but it's 20 kilometers.
Okay.
And we are discussing again after a new plane crash in Ahmedabad.
Right. So fluid logic का inception कब हुआ?
Oh, that has come at very late, is very late rather, but see, from 1988 to 1993, we were quite popular in the local market.
Okay.
Because of my connect with Rexroth and Vickers and other things, I was working as a dealer for Rexroth, but at that time there was no concept of distributorship.
Right.
Or dealership rather. So they will give me the material at good price rather. They know very well that Mr. Lakhani is buying the material for the sales to the local customers rather, but they will support me.
Right.
So both companies were giving me good support on the pricing.
Okay.
We were stocking some of the material, and they have been giving us
that time, of course, deliveries must have been very long.
Yeah, so we were planning,
right.
But definitely they have been supporting us very well on the pricing rather. So support from Rexroth was anyway unanimously high to me because of my connect with Rexroth as a engineer also, as their employee also.
Right.
And they supported me well.
Okay.
Lot of companies like Escort, Herion or 𝐎𝐢𝐥 came at that time for the manufacturing in India.
Right.
So by 1990 or 89, I was well known in the market that for Gujarat, Mr. Lakhani is the focus.
Right.
So everybody was connecting with me. I was buying the material from them because there was no concept of distribution at that time. So we were just getting the material from either this supplier or this supplier and doing it. Even Dynamatic, I was one of the dealer. For Wipro also, I was one of the dealer. But there was no concept of distribution. Because I was a single point in Ahmedabad to connect with the other small industries.
Right.
Everybody was coming to me. I was buying material from everybody, stocking it and selling to the customer. So the carrier manufacturing, 88 we started. Whatever POPEX we are manufacturing is okay. We were also selling the components together. Okay. And then the turnover was increasing. Right. So maybe I can say that up to 1990 probably I reached to the turnover of around 6 crore rupees or something like that. And then there was a little game changer rather. 1993, if I recall rightly, Bosch came to India because some of the German companies who are setting up their facilities, manufacturing facilities in India, they told Bosch very clearly that if you are present in India, then only we can continue to really work together. Okay. And we would not like to change over or import rather. Right. So anyway, Myco was here, so they decided to start a small division of hydraulics in Bangalore. And as usual, again, they came in contact with us. Okay. We started buying from them also. And then they see that, yes, the probably knowledge level what we have is much more better than any other hydraulic company in the region rather. So 1993, we signed an official distribution agreement with Bosch for the region. Right. And that was the turning point for my life. At later
and this is still system engineers or fluid logic?
System engineer.
System
Still system engineer only.
Okay.
And 1993, after signing the agreement with them as a distributor for the region, we had a lot of good interaction, good training, good knowledge, what is happening worldwide. And by that time, the economy in India was also opening up. Okay. So to really get the access to the world market, even the email, fax, everything was possible by that time.
Right.
So access to the world only started during that time.
Barabar.
But Bosch really played a very vital role by giving a very fair and transparent working models.
Okay.
Nothing hidden rather.
Right.
After signing the agreement, they also had a internal discussion within the group that when we are already selling the hydraulics in India,
Ji.
why we should get the power pack from Rexroth or Vickers for our own use rather.
Right.
Because they also were having a very big machine tool manufacturing division.
Okay.
So they decided internally that if we really wanted to show customers that we are solution provider, then we have to have power pack in our plant itself first.
Okay.
As a testimony rather.
Right.
So they started exploring with the distributors that who are able
can
to manufacture the power pack.
Okay.
We got the opportunity to really work for the power pack which was required by the Bosch at that time.
Okay.
For their own machines.
Right.
Because we were building the power pack with Bosch components. Distance, Ahmedabad and Bangalore is 1600 kilometers.
Right.
And because still the economy was opening up, it was a seller's market. The manufacturers were not ready to believe that now it is going to be a buyer's market.
Right.
Not the seller's market. Still the price level in the market was very high from the sellers. Deliveries were haywire. No response.
Right.
The experience when you talk about the OEM from the hydraulic manufacturer, they always say that no, we can't go 1600 kilometers away. Who will do the follow-up for delivery? Because every hydraulic company, they were used to chase them for the deliveries.
Right.
And then to convince the management at top level in Bosch at that time, those who are connected with the business, we had only slot of 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. And that also the slot was such that you can't believe it. Head of the hydraulic division gave us the time for 2 minutes. And that time was typically that once I finish my lunch and when I am traveling from canteen back to my office.
On the way you can talk
On the way you can talk to me. So we took that 2 minutes. And within 2 minutes probably I was lucky guy that I could convince him.
Okay.
But from that day, Maiko stopped thinking in that direction that you need to chase.
Okay.
And we fulfilled our promises and commitment about the deliveries, quality and cost, all the parameters.
Right.
So this was the turning point that they took a decision which was favorable to me. Probably convincing was only, they wanted to see my confidence, nothing more than that rather.
Okay.
But they could put trust on me. Then they started vendor approval process, whatever is the requirement, knowledge sharing sessions, everything was started that this is what is required by us.
Right.
So in the process, I learned a lot from them. And then there was no limit. So I was the youngest supplier in the vendor list who could get the business of more than 1 crore in 1995 from Bosch.
Okay. How old were you then?
At that time, my age was only 40 years.
40 years.
56 to 95.
Right.
40 years. I started business at 25. It was just after 15 years. But from 6 crore, I reached to 10 crore. And now the contribution from the manufacturing has increased considerably because of the order from Bosch.
Right.
And then it was very necessary for me to really have the trading and manufacturing setup separately. So this is how Fluid Logic came in existence.
Okay.
Sometime around 1994.
Okay.
because within 1 year we could get the order of 1 crore rupees from a company, and everybody was very happy. So one sentence whenever I go to purchase team of Bosch at that time, that we have given the order to you. Now our job is to sleep. Your job is to deliver, but we will sleep because we know you will deliver it.
Right.
That was the concept which is developed. But because the way they worked very transparently with us, the way they have been working with very high ethics, that has changed our entire.
So what was the size of your team at that point of time? How many people were there in your company?
Maybe 30-40 people.
30-40 people were there by then. Okay.
Because there was a big trading division also, manufacturing division also. So all put together 30-40 people. But then we were forced to have a bigger premises because the manufacturing activity increased.
Okay.
A lot of orders were pouring in, and space should not become a constraint. So we shifted to a new premises, and new premises was registered as a fluid logic system.
Okay.
So fluid logic system came into the existence from 1995, and the plant inauguration was done by the then managing director of Bosch itself.
Okay.
Even though we are a very small company, when we requested him, he decided to come. He inaugurated the plant and blessed us.
Right.
And the business was continuing with Bosch until 2025. Today also we are continuing.
Okay.
Because they have the same comfort level with us.
Right.
On delivery, on flexibility, on the understandings of the requirement.
फ्लूइड लॉजिक ने अपना नाम इंडिया में नहीं इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में भी बनाया.
Yes.
So वो कैसा हुआ?
Okay, there I will say that there is no turning point or a situation behind it, but our customers have been our marketing people rather.
Okay.
In my organization, we never appointed only sales engineer, never.
Okay.
It was always a application man who does the application engineering, design, understand the functionality and performance target, safety interlocks, and then he submits the offer and closes the deal.
Right.
This is how the business model was developed, that there is no requirement of the sales because we are in a turnkey solution business. So if we really just send somebody for the sales, it will never work.
Apart from the hydraulics, were you also doing the panel part of it? And sometimes.
But it was always offloaded to
other supplier. So team को encourage करने के लिए, उनको grow करने के लिए आपने क्या किया कि वो लोग empower?
It was a sort of a small family.
Right.
And because we started from the scratch, and again, I was never from a business family.
Okay.
So the thought process or mindsets were not like a businessman. It was like a common man.
Okay.
So generally speaking, we never bothered about the return on the investments or something like that.
Right.
Only two clear directives. One is that customer should be very happy with us. He should get the good price.
Right.
And if he is anytime doubting your integrity, share the costing with him very clearly.
Okay.
Share the options also with him, that we have other options, but you may not be happy in long run.
Right.
So a transparent business model with respect to the costing, with respect to the strict follows to the quality levels, that was one of the requirement. Even in fact, in 1995, when the power was never a guaranteed things in India, there were a lot of power shutdowns and breakdowns and everything.
Right.
We invested on the generator set,
so
that we don't run in shortage of power, and because of that the deliveries are not delayed.
Right.
Because our commitment is our commitment. So we invested even on the DG set in 1985, so that our commitment doesn't go wrong. And team, team is basically the people who learn from me,
Right.
and then he develops the interest,
Hmm.
and then he stays with me.
Right.
So for very long time, till the generation Z,
Hmm.
that is today's generation, which came into the existence,
Right.
my team was always very consistent, very, very consistent.
Okay. Hmm.
We have the people in company, even from the worker side, I will say, who has been working with me since 1988. Today also they are there.
Right. Okay.
Although we have shifted our complete manufacturing location,
Hmm.
which is 40 kilometers away from the previous location.
All right.
Same people are coming to the
All
new
right.
location also.
Nice.
So that is the type of loyalty and the working culture what we have created, that they are not settled with anybody if they are going. They will not get that culture.
How did Voith come into the picture?
1999, I have to start again from 1999. After starting working with Bosch, 1999, Bosch insisted me to visit Hanover exhibition.
Okay.
That Mr. Lakhani, you must go to Hanover exhibition.
Hmm.
And once you come to Hanover exhibition, we will take you to various manufacturers of hydraulic power pack in Germany.
Hmm.
You can also see the Bosch plants,
Hmm.
how we are working. So in 1999, I went to Germany for the first time.
Okay.
And then during that 15-day stay with Bosch
Bosch.
and Hanover exhibition,
Hmm.
it was a eye-opening case for me that where the world is and where we are.
Right.
And seeing the power pack manufacturer in Germany, the facility what they have,
Hmm.
that again gave me a new instinct that we cannot lag like this.
Right.
So we started more investments in the company so
Right.
that we come up to that level.
Okay.
So on one side we were increasing our infrastructure, facilities, everything. Other side, more and more customers were coming to us. And then it has become a routine that every year I will go to Germany. I will meet even the power pack manufacturer there, some of the suppliers there.
Hmm.
So this is how Foyt also came in our contact.
And आगे उसके बाद कैसी रही आपकी जर्नी उनके साथ?
उसके बाद तो आगे इनसे Bosch acquired Rexroth.
Hmm.
So anyway, Rexroth plant was there in Ahmedabad. So we were one of the largest distributor of Rexroth.
Right.
And journey was stable rather. But
जी.
once it has become a Rexroth company, or rather big dominance of Rexroth in India
Right.
as a manufacturer, definitely we remained as a dealer, but there was no know-how sharing or knowledge sharing sessions happening with the company.
Right. Okay.
That was one of the fallout rather.
Okay.
So in 2013, probably I will say that it is more as a ego clashes, because Bosch was their company,
Hmm.
Rexroth was also their company.
Right.
Bosch was never giving order to Rexroth.
Okay.
So naturally, nobody at Rexroth liked it.
Okay.
So
So Bosch was outsourcing from
yes,
Fluid Logic?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
it was a rather a typical situation that although you have a very big company manufacturing power pack in a group, and
Right.
you are going to a small distributor,
Hmm.
right? And why you are going? The reason is very simple. That okay, cost is not an issue for us.
Right.
Quality and delivery is our target requirement, and we know Rexroth very well. They can't deliver it in time.
Okay.
So this business continued with Bosch as it is for a
Right.
long time, and today also rather.
Right.
So 2013 situation was stable rather,
Hmm.
but trading was never my cup of tea.
Okay.
So they were interested only on the dealer business, rather replacement market. And that was never my role.
Hmm.
So then we decided to really disconnect from the distribution.
Okay.
𝐕𝐢𝐧, anyway, we were their customers from 2005 to 2011
Okay.
in Germany.
Right.
So we were buying few components from them for manufacturing high-end systems rather.
Okay. Components like?
High response valves,
Okay.
low noise pumps.
Hmm.
So they were the unique things. And by that time, see, government was allowing the import freely there.
Right.
So that was not an issue rather. So we built up a strong relationship with 𝐕𝐢𝐧 also at that time.
Right.
And again, why 𝐕𝐲 came to us? If you really look at this question, then if you remember the change in the design or market strategy rather,
Okay.
the concept of servo
Hmm.
came in sometime during 2007.
Okay.
So entire injection molding segment was always talking about the servo pumps, servo drives, and reducing the power consumption by means of the new technology.
Right.
So the major player at that time in servo technology was 𝐕𝐲,
Okay.
Rexroth,
Yeah.
and one or two more players rather.
Right.
Rexroth was in India. They were already promoting this technology, but they were the only one. 𝐕𝐲 was contacted by some of the Indian customers in the plastic segment.
Okay.
So they supplied few pumps. But then there was a question that what about the service requirements?
Right.
Okay, we will buy the pump from you, your prices are good.
Who
your
will
delivery is
support
good,
us later?
but who will support this later? And then they have been also asked to really look into this requirement so that pumps are easily available and serviceable in the industry rather.
Right.
And this is how, as we were their customers, they connected with us that Mr. Lakhani, let us join hands together and make a strong partnership.
Right.
So they came with us as a joint venture partner, buying 50% stake in our company
Okay.
in 2011.
Hmm. But you also making power packs for them?
Not for Germany.
Not for Germany.
Not for Germany. Because there they always work with very high-end technology rather. And
Okay.
I will still say that the culture in Germany, particularly for the power pack, has been completely different. The quality levels are completely different.
Right.
The design concepts are completely different.
Different.
So to match that philosophy is still very hard for the power pack. And again, the cost involvement when you are using imported component to get that quality.
Right.
And the volume of the power pack, because it has a big tank, the freight cost and other things are not viable at all.
Right. Okay.
Even if you take the sea freight route, the delivery time increases like anything unless there is a serial requirement.
Right.
So these are some of the points which will not allow export of the power pack unless customer is well planned and
and you were doing servicing. I remember recommending one of my friends to you. He flew in with his 𝐕𝐲 pump, and I think you repaired it the same day. And he's always in that.
So that was possible because of the joint venture rather.
Right.
Right. So in my opinion, see, basically it was need at that time by 𝐕𝐲 also.
Right.
To have a
channel partner here.
A channel partner or a joint venture company,
right,
who can take up their activity. And then they also played a very important role in giving us some of the knowledge about the energy efficiency.
Okay.
So if you look at our design or quality from 2013 onwards rather, we learned from Bosch in 1995, sorry.
Okay.
About the energy efficiency. Eventually, Bosch had a energy efficient vane pump for the machine tool,
Okay.
and that was a key pump or element in the hydraulic design for us. In 2000, when Bosch acquired Rexroth, Bosch was a very strong company who was branding a lot of products
Okay.
after all quality checks.
Right.
So this energy efficient pump, what they have been promoting as Bosch product,
Right.
was manufactured by Nachi Japan,
All right.
and it was branded as a Bosch product.
Okay.
So till the time it was available from Bosch, we have been doing the energy efficient power pack. Afterwards, when it merged with Rexroth, we continued sourcing of the same
Pumps from Nachi. That
from
is how
Nachi,
your
Japan.
association with Nachi
Yes.
started.
So
All right. Excellent.
Association
Very nice.
with Nachi Japan started because of the energy efficiency. Association with Pvt started because of the service needs.
Right.
And low noise product are there. And injection molding was a booming segment at that time. So both these partner, Nachi as well as Pvt together, gave us a very good edge over the product design rather for the energy efficiency. So our designs of the power pack or concept and thinking has changed from a standard rule or thumb rules rather which were existing in the market segment.
Right.
That if you have pump of 10 liter, your tank should be 50 liter.
Yeah.
If you have pump of 100 liter, your tank should be 500 liter. We were always talking about the exchange volume requirement. So if your exchange volume requirement is 1 liter, then maybe your pump is of 10 liter, but why you need 50 liter tank?
All right.
You should be able to work with 10 liter tank. So probably with this energy efficient pump from Bosch or Nachi, we started manufacturing power pack for the machine tool on 10 liter tank.
Okay.
Which was seen as a
game changer.
Game changer.
Absolutely.
No customers were ready to accept that at that time.
Right.
But when we proved it in the exhibitions, when we proved it on the performance, then slowly people realized. At the same time, because we were using smaller tank, the cost was going down, footprint was going down.
Right.
Because of the efficient pump rather, the power consumption was going down. And the biggest
heat production was going down.
Yeah. So biggest advantage to me was that understanding the machine and really looking at the work pressure. We could downsize the power requirement in comparison to the conventional designer of the power pack by 50% in machine tool segment in particularly.
Right.
And that has really given us a big advantage in the machine tool that until now it was requirement of 3 HP and now I am getting the same function or same performance with 1.5 HP.
Right.
And then they could see the difference that okay, don't look at only cost. Look at the life cycle cost also.
Cost of ownership है और cost भी कम आया होगा ना 3 horsepower से 1 horsepower या 1.5 horsepower पे जाऊंगा.
Because we were using imported pump, definitely the cost was not to that extent down.
Right. Okay.
But definitely there is some minor advantage or no advantage rather. That was not increasing the cost rather.
Right.
But then also see, looking at small thing, people were laughing at that. But slowly people accepted it, and then probably in the machine tool market, if I am not wrong, we must have supplied more than I think 50,000 power pack with almost half the power installed.
And machine tool is such a competitive market. Every year they expect the price to go down, which
but power consumption was the major advantage from our design rather. So to my credit, I will say that if not exaggerating or exploding, then maybe at least the 50,000 kilowatt of the installed power was also saved by us in the industry.
Right. आपने बोला कि the people in your company, you were treating them like family, and that is why they were staying with you. But yet you have to give them a growth pattern, right?
Yeah.
They are part of family, so you have to give them a growth pattern. So how did you manage to deliver that for them?
Okay. I will tell you two things about that. If I again start from say 1993, when I started Fluid Logic, two gentlemen who were working with me as a production manager and the uh, sales or application guy rather.
Right.
We all were colleagues when we were employee rather.
Okay.
So they were right and left arm of me. We offered them stake holding in our company.
Okay.
We never continued them as an employee.
Okay.
We promoted them to the position of director and stakeholder. They are continuing in a longer way. This was the starting point, that the talent, whatever was available with us, I retained with a very good synergy on the growth. So if the company grows, we all grows together.
Right.
And our deal was very transparent with them, because all were service class. They both were working with me as an employee rather.
Right.
So we told them very clearly that I am offering you this. If you have only 10,000 rupees today, you are free to buy 10,000 rupees share. If you don't have, tell me, I will give you 10,000 rupees, buy it. But afterwards, once you are director in the company, you will definitely get more salary as a director. And we commit to each other that we all will draw the equal salaries.
Right. Okay.
That was the first thing. If I am drawing 50,000, you are also getting 50,000. The third man also is getting 50,000. So we maintained this synergy from 1993 until 2011.
Okay.
Till the joint venture. We all were drawing equal. No differentiation. So we decide jointly every year that, okay, from this time we will take say 50,000 rupees. Next year we will take 55,000 rupees. We decide mutually based on the company condition.
Right.
And we reinvest rest of the profit rather. So again, they have been given a free hand to buy the further shares whenever they want, without any limit rather. The limit in the sense, I told that my family will keep 51%. Rest of the shares you can buy. That is not a problem for me. And slowly they acquired 25% of the stake in the company both together.
Okay.
So they have been getting the salary equal to like me. At the same time, they have been able to increase their stake in the company. So they were also partner in the
money.
Profit. So they are also investing. And in 2011, the situation was that they both were holding around 25%. My family and me was holding 75%.
Okay.
When we had an opportunity to go with joint venture with Pvt.
Right.
This is the history of almost, you can say now, 20-25 years. They came to me as an employee. They became director. They acquired the shares, everything. So during this time, we all were well to do. We had our own car, company car, all the three people. We have sufficient to really keep the family running, education of the children. Everything was feasible.
Right.
With little bit saving rather, not much saving, because we were investing there.
In the company.
But unfortunately, children also grows. So my son joined my business. My two partners, one of his son has joined the business. But second partner, his son has gone to the computer, because by that time the
IT industry.
started rather. Then he was around, I think, in 2011, yes, he was around 55 or 56 rather. So he decided to retire, that I will retire now, Mr. Lakhani.
Okay.
So he transferred his share to Pvt. So he got his valuation of the stake. So on the day he calculated the return out of his investment, it was more than 100 times.
All right. Oh. Hmm.
which was more than anything. If he would have served to any company, what is PAF, this, that, everything as a benefit, no?
Right.
It was more than that rather. So he
Right.
got almost, you can say, more than 3 million rupees at that time.
Oh.
No, not 3 million, 30 million.
30 million.
30 million rupees at that time.
Hmm.
Right? So it was well up for him. My second partner, his son has came to the business, but he had unfortunately 3 sons.
Right.
So he told that I will exit. Let my son be here as an employee,
Right.
but I will exit.
Okay.
He also got the similar amount. So he has done his family management very well. So both retired. I have never sold my shares to White.
Right.
So balance 25%. We pumped in the money in the company
Okay.
and taken a growth of the company.
Hmm.
So this is how the company was also benefited. My partners were also benefited. And then apart from the partners, the employees who are coming, they have been seeing that how we are working together, how we are doing the things, how we are imparting the knowledge to them. So if you look at any hydraulic industry today in India, you will definitely find somebody from my company working there at very senior position, because they have understood requirement,
ecosystem.
they are able to calculate.
Hmm.
So they have stayed with me for the long time, imparted the knowledge, but once they have got a very big opportunity that okay, now here my salary is 5 lakhs and I am getting 15 lakhs, he jumped, which was not my cup of tea rather at that time.
Right.
But we were at par with the industry rather. But when somebody gets the jump because of his knowledge, that you can't help it.
So आज के नई जनरेशन के लिए क्या सलाह देना चाहेंगे आप?
आज की जनरेशन में देखिए ऐसा है कि जनरेशन जेड, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दी working with the own hands, that is anyway required. You cannot cook the food without you work yourself.
सही है.
Right? You have to eat a cold food only if you doesn't want to spoil your hands. So there is a demand, but there is a demand of knowledgeable people, and knowledge is to be gathered, and first 10 years of life after graduation is very, very important and critical. If you have joined a company where you are not happy, or if it is not your passion, you should definitely leave it.
Right.
But if you are able to see that it is my passion, then you have to stay there, you have to dig out the information, you have to ask questions, and then you have to learn. See, money is one part, but the knowledge what you gain,
Right.
that knowledge is always your property. And
nobody can take
nobody can take the knowledge.
Right. आगे के लिए आपका क्या प्लान है?
Okay, good question, but as I informed to all my colleagues, well-wisher, friends, I think in sometime during first week of April, the company Fluid has been acquired completely by Pvt.
Okay.
Because I am already running 70 now. My son, both the sons are in the business. They are in the similar business of hydraulics.
Right.
They are well to do. They are doing excellent rather. I don't have any complaints about that. So within the family, we decided to divest this company and to build something new according to the current market scenario.
Right.
So that we have a latest technology, plant, everything, which is again a highly presentable to the customers.
Right.
And under the new government of India, the way government is supporting, probably we also should say Make in India is a chance for us,
Right.
to grow into SME sector. but we can grow provided we prove on the quality, delivery, and cost.
Perfect.
So, following the same footstep, we will be going ahead with new manufacturing plant, but we will not be manufacturing power packs. As I am known for benchmarking the product in India with respect to the quality,
Right.
I am once again trying to benchmark the manifold manufacturing and reliability on manifolds,
Right.
so that customer is benefited because of the high quality. Manifold is not a high-tech product, but definitely very important product in hydraulics. And if you don't have reliable manifold, sometimes troubleshooting with defective manifold will take years and months together at site. You will not know what is the reason, and you simply change the manifold and problem is solved.
And consequential loss
Yes.
to the customer in terms of production,
Yeah.
time loss, and everything. So it's really been great talking to you. I have wanted to do this for a long time. Thank you for indulging me and coming.
It
and
is
talking
my
to me.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.